let's roll it. Okay, let's turn on, music is on. Okay, another episode in English, in my funny English. Here is Igor Slavik speaking, and I have here a special guest from New Zealand, Peter Scott. Hello, Peter.
Hello, Igor.
It's a pleasure to have you here because we met many times on New Zealand, and the first time it's you are in our country for me. Yeah.
Yes.
So, and what did you do in Europe?
Came over for the masters in
Italy.
Masters in Italy in Trentino.
Was it good?
It was good. It was hard for me. I did struggle.
So, and how long you are already in Europe?
Been here for nearly a month.
Good. What about Lynley?
She said she's going to beat me when I get home.
Say hello to Lynley.
Hello, Lynley.
Okay. So, and it was Masters. Masters was hard in Trentino. I heard that some places, some beads were really, really tough to fish. But you are many times you were in national team. In which world championship you were? Can you say us?
I'm 98, I think, in Poland.
In Poland, yeah. And you were also captain?
No.
No. I sorry. I So let's talk from the start. Fishing beginnings. How you start with your fishing? It was immediately fly fishing, or you start?
No. So as a young child, I used to fish for kakapo, which is like a native bully, and eels.
Eels. So, and which kind of fishing it was? With floats or
worm?
Worm.
Or for the eels, maybe a piece of liver.
So, and you started alone, or who bring you to fishing?
Just alone. My father.
Just alone.
Yes, nobody fished in my family.
So you are first fisherman in family.
Yes. Well, yes. My brothers, younger brothers, they sea fish like I did. So no trout streams in where I grew up in Auckland.
Okay. So you are, how Lynley said that you are a town boy. So you are from natively from Auckland?
Yes. So born right in the centre of the city.
And now you are a village boy.
Yes.
You moved from Auckland. So you sell your house in Auckland?
Yes, I have, yes.
So no way back?
No way back, no. You couldn't afford to buy back now. Just so you can sell your house, retire, buy a cheaper house in the country. Yeah.
In the house, we spent a nice week with my family. So it was great that you invited us. It was great time. So, and about these beginnings, you started to fish this kakapo.
Yes.
I don't know what is this.
Have you eaten the whitebait in New Zealand?
No.
Have you seen the little whitebait? Clear fish about 30, 40 mils.
Mm-hmm.
And they come up, the babies come up, and people net them, and you have whitebait fritters. So it's just whitebait and egg, and that's expensive, maybe $40, $50 a kilo.
Okay.
Or might even be $120 a kilo. No, it's expensive. And these are the adult ones that grow into.
So, and when you are started with fly fishing?
Yes, a long time later, because I did quite a lot of sea fishing, but I caught my first trout when I was 43.
43?
43.
Okay, so it's funny because you are Kiwi, you are New Zealander, and the trout in 43.
Yes, because as a young person, you have to have a car to drive a few hundred k's to get to trout fish, and I had nobody to show me.
Yeah, and from Auckland to some trout river, it's quite far.
About an hour and a half, an hour and a quarter for the closest.
It's not so far, 1.5 hour.
But you
but if you don't have a car, it's hard.
You don't have a car, you can't.
Okay. So and who introduced to you fly fishing? Because
A friend of a friend.
Friend of your friend.
Yes, he said that he trout fished, and he said he would take me.
Okay.
And I said, fantastic, I'm looking forward to it, So we arranged a weekend. I was still doing other sports up until, so because I was a runner, I was training 120, 140 miles a week. So there wasn't any time for fishing.
Only running.
Just only running, eating and sleeping.
Okay. So and you fell in love with fly fishing immediately, or?
Yes, it was pretty fantastic. The guy took me to the Tauranga Taupo River in Turingi. And I went to the Rangers pool, the top pool for the limit pool. And my first trout was 7.5 pound rainbow.
It's dream for everybody here. So it's incredible. So and what about fly tying?
Yes, because I think when you fishing taupo, they just used heron copper and a glow buck. But if you wanted anything else, or even if you wanted to get the flies cheaper, you started to learn how to tie. So, and I started pretty quickly. And
this friend introduced you also fly tying?
I think because straight away I joined the Auckland Fly Fishing Club, and they had fly tying instructors. So I'd never even heard of them before I started trout fishing. But and they used to have a trip every month, and you would go to a different river or different stream every month.
So it was some kind of group.
Yes.
So you joined together and go for fly fishing.
So you could learn, and then you had to. So every month you had to learn to fish another type of water. So we didn't have local water, so you would go and learn.
And it was kind of membership. You have to pay for it, or it was for free.
I think it was $40 for the year or something.
Okay.
And they had a house in Turingi that you could stay at for $15 a night.
So it's cheap.
It's pretty. It was a good, and they had a big big library and.
And how many people go for this weekend fishing? 4, 5.
Oh no, sometimes 15.
15, so much.
20, yeah.
Oh, big group. It's so many. I prefer to go alone, and maximum is with one friend, good friend. So 15 I couldn't imagine. But I mean in Turangi or Taupo region, it's no problem. Yeah.
That's right, because you could have 10 people line up in a pool and all fish together and all still catch fish.
So and, in this group were some instructors, and they showed you, or?
Yes, they did. There was some instructors, and there was a couple of good fishermen at the club. Dave McClellan used to be at the Auckland Club, and he'd fished quite a few championships. And he knew quite a bit.
Okay.
And you could learn how to cast. So
yeah, I asked about fly tying also because I got from you a book about flies.
Yes.
So which you are part of this. So you should be good in fly tying. I never seen you tying flies, but if you are published in a book, you should be good.
Yeah, so I used to like tying. And we used to be, I became a fly tying instructor.
Yeah, cool.
For Umpqua. Yeah, so that was good. We used to teach at the shop.
Anyway, about shop, because we met each other in a Rotten Reel.
Yes.
Rotten Reel shop. So, and you worked there how long?
We maybe 6-8 years. We owned it.
So, and you owned part of it?
Yes.
So, and you sold your already?
Sold. Sold to Doug, and then I worked there for another 3 years after selling.
Yeah, it was, so I didn't know it. So, And
it was much better when I sold. I got paid a lot more.
yeah, because it's the only fly fishing shop in Auckland, or there are more.
Just about the only true fly fishing shop then. Yes.
Yeah, because it's quite huge. Yeah, but this is not only for fly fishing. There is also for spin fishing.
Yes,
and for sea fishing.
Yeah, but when we started, it was 80% fly fishing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite huge. Yeah, when I was there, I remember when we put on the door the sticker Hanak.
Yes.
Yeah, because you sell Hanak stuff also, and now you are representative for Hanak in New Zealand.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Great hooks.
Okay, hooks, not only hooks, but also rods and reels and nylons and this and that. So, and when you sell the shop or your part of shop, and you work there for 3 more years, and then you decided to go to village.
Yes,
and
retire.
So, and how long you are on the village?
Been there full time now, 4 years.
4 years. And you have big plans there. So what about these plans? Do you have there already some cottages for fishermen or not yet?
Yes, I have got 2-bedroom accommodation in the front, separate, but 2 bedrooms, lounge, kitchen, bathroom.
Yeah.
Has your own fire. And it's from the property, it's 80 meters to the river.
Yeah, it's famous Wanganui River. I love this river. Actually, I spent in this house a few days, maybe a few weeks, because I was there with Franta and with my wife Sabina and my son Theo also. So, and you fish how many days? It was question of my listeners. How many days per year you fish now?
Not
much.
Not much. Not really.
And what you are doing when you are retired on retirement?
I've planted truffle trees.
Truffle? I don't know what is it. Truffle.
So they're on oak trees and hazelnuts, and they grow on the roots. And you have the black truffle or the white truffle. They grow. They're like strong mushroom. Very expensive. So in northern Italy, the white truffle is 6,000 euros a kilo.
Yeah. I understand now. We call it Lanija. Yeah. So
I have 300 or so of those trees, and I have gardens and sheep.
Because it's funny, because everybody said that he is on retirement, but the people who are on retirement are more busy than people who are going to work.
Yes.
So
because we've been building, I built a big extension, and my son actually built it, but I did a lot of work, and then decks
and you offer this two bedroom for some fishermen.
Yes.
And is it on a booking or Airbnb or
not yet? No.
Or just for friends?
Yes, just have to contact Hanak NZ.
Yeah. Okay. So, and you are going, if you are going for fishing, you are going this 80 meters to Wanganui or another rivers?
Usually, yes. Go down to the Wanganui or go up to the Whakapapa, which is 10 minutes away.
Oh, yeah. Another great river, yeah. Okay, and you said that the first trout was 43 years when you were 43. And what about competition? Because when you were in national team in Poland, you should make some qualification and some competition. When you start competing?
That year that I caught my first trout.
the very same year?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I was a competitive runner. So if you want to learn how to trout fish fast, you should
compete.
You should compete. Even if you don't want to go to the teams, if you want to learn fast, it is the fastest way to learn how to fish well.
So, and in New Zealand. Can you explain how it's? There is some leagues, some divisions, or how works competition on New Zealand?
There's only one division.
One division.
Yeah, so not many competitors, 60, 70, 80
Okay.
in all of New Zealand. And you fish in you get points for events, and then they're added up and you get the top 20 get invited to the nationals.
Uh-huh.
And then in the days when I started, if you finished in the first 3 or 2, you got invited to the New Zealand team.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the ones who were in the past team stayed in.
Mm-hmm. And if you are going to World Champ or European Champ, for World Champ, or you have some United Kingdom, UK, some Commonwealth competition.
Yes, we have Commonwealth, and we have the Oceanas, which is against Australia.
I thought that Kiribati.
Yes, and
Yeah?
So I think even the Japanese have competed in the Oceanas, and maybe Canada as well. Yes, Canada has come over.
Asiana with Canada.
Yeah.
It's strange. They are not in Asia.
No, but they're in the Pacific.
Aha, so
they touch the Pacific Ocean. You see.
So it should be Pacifiana.
Yes.
So, and if you are going on such a competition, do you have some money from fly fishing or fishing federation from New Zealand, or you have to pay everything by your own?
No, we get some money.
Okay.
So maybe $1,500.
Not much, yeah, because you are far.
It costs maybe $10,000 or $8,000 if you really keep it to just the competition.
So just small amount you got.
Yeah. And sometimes we run clinics to teach other people and raise money. Good
idea.
And I think when we went to Sweden, we raised 5,000 for the team. So we each got another 1,500 each or so.
Okay.
That was good.
Mm-hmm. So, and the national is, I think it's national on lake and national on a river, or is this competition together?
And when I started, it was together. So it would be normally 2 lakes and 3 river sessions.
Okay. So, and now it's different?
Now it's separate. So you have 4 lake sessions and 4 river sessions. Mm-hmm. And now we have selectors as well. So the team is selected by a group of selectors, which I am one now.
Selectors. So you say who should be in a team?
Yes.
And
so we pick the top 10 and they train together and practice. And then we pick the top 6 or 7 out of that.
And how many selectors are?
3. So there's Paul Dewar, myself, and the captain, which at the moment is Johannes Krill. So, and the captain is a fishing captain, or? He'll be a non-fishing captain.
Non-fishing captain. Okay. So it's interesting. 3 people. It's in our country so that only one man choose the team, but we have such a rule that first 3 in ranking are sure that they are going for World Champ, and another 7 from first 10 can be switched between first 5 and second 5. First 5 is going for World, and second 5 is going for Euro. So, and all teams now is selection by coach, by captain, and it's in this time is Antonín Pešek. So it's 3 people is quite a lot.
Yes, so 1 is from the committee, from the organising committee.
Okay.
1 is off the committee, which is me, and then there's the captain. And but it's. And
do you have sometimes fight about who is selected and who not?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's.
I mean between these 3 selectors.
We're trying to develop a better team rather than our best fishermen.
It's I think so. I think the same way, because sometimes it works better when it's good. I don't know if you say it on English also, good chemistry.
Yes.
So I understand.
We've had a few competitors in the past that aren't very good team players. So if you have two non-team people in your group of 5, your team is destroyed.
Yeah, and if you are going for a award, do you have also captain and manager, or just captain, non-fishing captain?
This time we were going to have captain and manager, but it's sort of
in Spain.
Yeah, but this time now we haven't even got a team. So
because
lots pulled out.
You have just 3 people.
3 competitors, and the captain's pulled out, and the manager's not going.
So this World Champ in Spain, you will have 3 competitors and 1 non-fishing captain, or not?
I think one of the Ollie's father is going to be there and work as manager.
Ollie Bassett?
Yes.
The young gun?
Yes.
He's good. Yeah.
He's getting a lot better.
Yeah. I think so.
Because now he listens. When he was here in the juniors, he wasn't such a good listener.
Yeah.
But now he does listen, and he's really developed to a very high class competitor.
Yeah, I saw, and I have to screenshot his scoring card on. I think it was some lake competition, and yesterday we talked about it in a pub. It was incredible because there was, I think, 18 fish on scoring card, and no fish under 41 centimeters. And I think approximately size it was about 49, 50, somewhere 56. 18 fish, such a huge. So it's for us it's incredible, such a big fish for competition. Yeah, and where you have a competition, if you have there are some competition also on South Island or just on North?
No, not because they don't have any organisers. So the only competition that has been in the South Island that I know, national one, was when my first nationals was in the South Island.
How big was the XXL, the biggest fish in a competition?
I'm not sure actually. I think
82.
I got but I know I got some 56s and things like that, and some that wouldn't fit in the tray, so you had to measure them on the back.
So mainly is around Taupo region this competition, or?
Yes, central North Island, because it's central for everyone to get there. So the South Island, they just haven't got the organisers now, and I think that competition was only 4 venues. It was 3 lakes and 1 river, and it was an unusual competition, and my first nationals, and I won, so that's what got me in the team too.
So, and how many competitors you have in such a competition?
In that one, there was only 12 or 13 that went to the South Island.
And on North? I mean,
in the North,
approximately a number of competitors on your competition.
When the nationals is limited to 20.
20.
And sometimes only 18 turn up, so it's only the top 20. If they don't come, then the numbers just drop.
Okay. And do you plan, next year is Masters in BC? Do you plan to go there?
No. I'll still be recovering from my beating when I get home.
Yeah. And now, do you have, I mean, because you are in such a nice place, do you work also as a guide?
A little bit.
Little bit. Small part-time.
Just small part-time.
Yeah.
I don't work for shops. I help a guy that runs Blazing Adventures sometimes. He gets some people, and I take them out just to help his business. And a few people I know, I take out. But I don't advertise guiding.
So you don't have sign on your house guide,
No.
fly fishing guide?
No.
No. Okay. And if you when you were in this some international competition, I ask all the time, who is your or my guest? I ask about who is your fly fishing hero. Yeah, I mean competition. Who is yours?
I suppose my first world's Thomas one. So
Thomas Starikvaitu. Yeah.
he's pretty good.
Yeah, he is.
He was only a 23-year-old boy then. He was pretty amazing. But I have fished against some pretty amazing
Competitors.
Yes.
So
Anton and Fishak and David Arcade.
Yeah, David is also great. Yeah, and he's young. Yeah.
Yes, I saw him at the Masters with the juniors.
Yeah, but he was with young youth team.
Yeah, the
I
youth
think.
team,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, and he wasn't. He was just helping the juniors. Yeah, so there was, and Thomas was there. So some pretty talented
Yeah.
coaches helping the juniors. Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But there's been some great fishermen I've met. I think that's the beauty of the sport is the people you meet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
You know, I don't go there to take home the gold medal. I go there because of the people you mix with.
Yeah, I have the same feeling. I like this company, these people to meet. Yeah, and also it's great if you have such a contact and to meet them in their environment.
Yes.
I mean, for me, really good friend is Corey. I meet him in 2014 in Czech for World Champ. So we became friends. So I was in New Zealand. You also, another is Clint from Canada. So Jarko from Finland. So it's great. I love to be in such a company. Yeah.
Yes, I think you just, and that's one of the reasons you learn so much is because you're mixing with hundreds of other fish nuts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ordinary question is about equipment. You are from different part of world, so when I have here guests from Czech Republic, it's also about it's all the time about rods, maximum weight 3, 2, and so. So, what is your favorite equipment for fishing in New Zealand?
I suppose it depends. If it's competition and you're really trying to go lighter, you might use a 3.
3? You are going for 3 in a fish 40 plus, because not smaller fish you have.
No, so yes, 50 plus, but so.
So you go for 3 on competition.
3 or 4. If I don't think I can stop them, then I'll probably go up to 4 weight. In the lakes, I use the 5 or 6.
Okay.
The new 6 now.
Mm-hmm. And if you are going such a light with rod 3 or 4, which diameter of nylon do you use for such a huge fish? 40 plus, 50 plus?
Depends. In competition, you might have to go to 5x, 5.5 pound.
Ooh, 5x. I don't know how much is it in a diameter in milms. I have to find it.
Is it 1.6?
No. Why? No. One. I don't know. Maybe 16. Yeah. 0.16. Yeah, maybe. I will check it.
But I have fished when I'm fishing for fun in the whakapapa with 2x, 10 pound, and they can come out of the water and snap it like cotton. They just come out of the water and shake the head and bang, it's gone.
So, and if you are fishing for fun, in New Zealand is ordinary to use hooks barbless hooks, or is it forbidden to have this barb?
No, it isn't. Most people in New Zealand would fish barbed hooks.
Ordinary barb.
It is getting way more common now, barbless.
Mm-hmm.
So some local fly tyers that tie commercially, they are saying they're starting to sell up to 40% barbless now.
Uh-huh.
Which is, but in the past we didn't have the hooks that were designed to be barbless, probably the quality hooks. And now people are getting a lot more confident.
Mm-hmm. So it's good, I think.
I think once you can convert somebody, they will realise they will catch more fish with a barbless hook than a barbed one.
Mm-hmm.
But I have taken a client out and he's been fishing and he's landed 5-6 fish and then he drops one and I tell him, it's a barbless hook, so you just keep a bit of pressure on. Well, I think he worried so much after that he shook the next 4 or 5 off.
So, and you said that there are people who are tying as a business.
Yes.
So, and did you try tie as a business?
No. I used to try and tie some for competitions in the shop, and the customers would be buying them faster than I could tie them. So I'm not that fast.
It's this question is always I ask about fishing for pleasure, which is, for example, on your bucket list. Which place do you want to fish? And all the time my guests said to me, on New Zealand. So now I have here a kiwi. So what is your dream to fish?
Grayling on the dry fly.
Yeah, but you have now. I think not many New Zealanders have 52 grayling even on nymph. So you are lucky.
Yes.
Because last weekend you were with Franta in Austria, and you caught 52 grayling, but it wasn't on dry.
No.
Yeah, I think that such a huge grayling don't take dries. Maybe in Lapland.
Yes.
Yeah, but in Austria, I don't think so. They are down.
They're pretty special. I do really like the grayling, and I can't think of. I've chased saltwater fly fishing around quite a few places. It's quite special. But
so, and tell us about this grayling 52. How it was?
It was special. Yes, I think Paul had fished the pool before me. He caught quite a few fish, and I was waiting, and he said, "You have a go," and. So I walked over and just cast in a bit closer to the drop off and hooked the grayling.
What about Paul?
He did tell me I was a bit of a girl taking it so far downstream trying to land it, but I saw him break off too, and so I worked it to my side of the river and took it down, tried to stay below it. So. I realised it was quite a good sized fish, so I didn't want to pressure it too much because you could pop it.
Yeah, 52, it's really huge. How I said to you that I have 53 and I tried many times. I don't know how many times you were fishing for grayling, but
in Poland a couple of times, and I got a 44 on the Sand River on a dry fly.
Ooh.
Which was, I loved doing that. That was special. And the grayling get different colours. Maybe Poland, they seem to be more purpley finned, and Slovakia maybe gold, and I think even this one was a bit goldy.
Yeah, it depends how it's coloured bottom.
Yeah.
If you are in this kind of really clear water, they are totally white. They even the back is not so dark. So another question which I ask all the time, maybe it was already answered. Unforgettable fish. If I say unforgettable fish, Which fish you have on your mind?
The ones that got away. I did hooked a big fish in the whakapapa, and it nearly spooled me going up the rapids.
Ooh.
And I had on 2X, 10 pound.
10 pound. It was a browny or?
Big rainbow, I think.
Big rainbow.
And I never saw it, just emptied my spool and smashed me off. I don't think I could get my rod off the water. Just pinned it to the water, and I told people later that I caught a kingfish in the whakapapa, and they asked me, "Do kingfish go up the river?" I said, "This one did," but I was having them on, but because it's a big saltwater fish. But it was that sticks in the memory. I could think of another one, Tasmania.
Okay.
On Arthur's Lake, casting out a dry fly and watching a big brownie cruise along and come up and slowly sip in the dry and tighten up, and it was 65.
Ooh.
That's pretty stunning.
Yeah. They are, I think, when they are bigger, they are so lazy and so slow, and your heart is beating.
Yes.
Okay.
Trying to hold your hand back from striking too early.
Yeah. Today we were fished for chops, and also some chops are so slow. Yeah. Another ordinary questions. I call it top 7. 7 question. The best for you, the best dry fly, which you are like the most. If you are going for dry fly, which you pick first?
Parachute Adams.
Parachute Adams, okay. Old school. And what wet fly is your favorite?
March Brown.
March Brown. Special March Brown or ordinary? Do you put some flesh inside or some colorful
a little bit of flesh.
ribbing?
I probably like a greeny body.
Green body, okay. What's your favorite nymph?
I know they change now, don't they? But I suppose I think Franta called it a Belgium that I called it
Belgium.
on. Yeah, so
Pheasant tail.
We used to call it a hot butt pheasant tail because we put not only a red collar, we put a bit of red under the tail.
Under the tail?
Just the cotton.
Okay. Yeah. So on the tail?
Underneath on the hook, just below the tail, on the bend. So we have 2 reds. See, this one I think goes to make for the shop. So if red spot's good, I put 2 red spots in to make it twice as good.
What about 3 spots in the middle?
It would be good.
Okay. And what about streamer? You don't.
Yes, I do use a streamer. I suppose in the past, I think in my book I said it was a rabbit damsel. That's what caught me in my fish in the South Island. Okay. Green rabbit damsel.
What's your favorite waters? What river and lake?
River.
River? No. I mean which river? The name of river. Wanganui. It's good if you live on Wanganui. And lake? Don't tell. Don't say Taupo.
No.
It's sea almost.
Curatau's a lot of fun.
Okay. And which competition do you like the most? It's also a question because I don't think that you have so much competition in your country.
No.
So you have to love all.
I really enjoyed the Whirinaki that Billy ran. That's pretty special.
Yeah.
Beautiful stream. Good fish. Some 50 pluses in a small stream. Sometimes many of them.
Yeah, Whirinaki, I know. Oh, another question. I call it fuck ups. So, what did you do? And it's going wrong way during competition. Do you remember some kind of this fuck up? No. Everything going well.
No. I think, well, even this time I struggled with trying to use the very light nylon. Now, age, eyes.
Yeah, but this is masters.
A bit of breeze. But I was a master 20 years ago.
Yeah, but this is not fuck up. This is just age. Yeah.
Well, I think in Italy this time I listened to our guide said that the fish were very spooky of the coloured line, the indicator. And so I used I used 7 pound, very thin coloured line that wasn't so bright. And in the couple of the streams, it was hard for me to see, and I missed fish.
Yeah,
that was and Paul used 0.221 and caught more fish.
Yeah,
because he could see what was. So it was that was a fuck up.
Yeah. But this is also about your eyes. Yeah, it's not what you did wrong. Yeah. Okay, another advice for rookies. When somebody listen, the young gun, what do you have advice for them?
A competition, young gun?
On competition. Competition. It's more about competition, this podcast.
Yes. Listen to some advice. You can be prepared to learn off anybody. You can learn off a novice if your mind is open.
Okay.
I think Aaron talked about you must share your knowledge. So when you give away knowledge, you make room for new. So if you don't share, you keep it all, you stop learning.
It's nice advice. Yeah. Okay. Another question is about gadget. Do you use on your vest, on your belt, or during fishing some gadgets, some, I don't know. For example, we were talking here with some guys that they are putting net on the back other way, the handle here, to be faster and not tangle in a strong current. So this is kind of innovation or gadget. Do you have something like this?
No, I tried to shift my net position for this competition and it failed, so I went back to the old way. It's harder to learn new tricks when you're older.
Okay. So, anything more?
Well, I have loved fishing the new equipment. Things have changed tremendously since I started. I think when I went to Poland that first time, my smallest rod, because the advice we were given, was a fast 6-weight.
6-weight. Yeah,
and we had to catch grayling on size 20 and 22 dry flies with 2-pound tippet. So you can imagine how many I broke off.
Yeah.
Trying to strike quickly on a 6-weight is not good. So now we have beautiful 3 weights and 2 weights. And
equipment, yeah. And you fish also in New Zealand with 2 weights?
I've practiced a little bit, but no. I think young Ollie does. Young Hugo fishes a 2-weight a lot. He can run down the river. He's young. But twos, you'd have to be in a few small spring creeks. We could use the 2, I think. It would work really well. But
it's true, because I look at it that you have big fish, and we have kind of rule. If you are going for 50 plus, you should use 5 rod. If you're going 60 plus, 6, 40, 4.
Yes.
But for example, for competitors who are going for world champ, for another land where are small fish, if they are going from 5-weight rod to 2-weight rod, it's quite hard. So it's good to train even in such a huge fish like you have. Yeah.
Yes, we can find a smaller fish, and later in the season in March the young fish come back and they are 200 millimeters.
Okay.
So the baby ones come back.
Ordinary fish here.
Yes. So we can, and they really like wee wets.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in the Worlds in 2008, they were getting, the Irish and the Canadian, they were getting 30 plus fish counters on wee wets.
Mm-hmm. And I have two more questions. One is about world champ. Do you think that it will be in few years world champ in New Zealand?
I tell people, Paul Vickerman's asked me about running the Masters, and I said we have a shortage of Indians in New Zealand. So to clear that up, I mean workers.
Mm-hmm. So you don't think so that it will be in few years?
I can't see another me out there.
Okay.
I think for the Worlds I would have taken a month full time and maybe spent a month in part time just organising the events. So you got a big commitment.
But I remember 2008. It was huge. Yeah, everybody was so looking forward to go there, and for our team it was special.
and the rivers didn't disappoint.
Yeah, it was, especially on Wanganui.
You had to get 35 in the fifth session to win it, and
50 plus.
I did have a shirt, so I got shirts from most of the teams, and I've got a shirt from the England team, because John Horsey said I should have more lakes and not so many rivers. Being an English, of course. No, he wasn't biased at all.
Yeah.
But he wrote on his shirt, "You were right, John Horsey," because he said the rivers wouldn't hold up.
Yeah, it was.
But they did.
Yeah, for me it was fun, because when I was fishing on Wanganui, and I spoke with Martin Drosch, who were there third, I think. No, he won there.
Yeah, he won.
He won there.
Yes.
Sorry, Martin. He won there, and when I described this place when I was fishing, and he said, "Yeah, it's exactly when I was for competition. It was upstream of your house."
Yes.
So, and it was so nice. Another question is about sea fishing. Not exactly sea, but I mean fly fishing on sea. Do you do it?
Yes.
And what do you tell us about this? Because it's on my bucket list also.
Yes, it's very exciting. Especially when I was in Auckland all the time, you could go and catch kahawai, which is, Australians call it salmon, but
salmon.
They call it salmon. So it's Australian salmon is kahawai.
Aussies.
The Aussies, yeah. And I have caught them up to 8.5 pounds on the flow rod, and they fight exceptionally hard. So on a 7-weight or 8-weight rod, they could pull 200 meters, and they jump and flare their jaws. But you can find big pods of them, and you could catch 30, 40 until you're sick of it.
I won't.
And then around Auckland, we used to go a lot and go to the marker boys, and nearly lots of them would have kingfish on. So baby kingfish.
What does it mean, baby kingfish? 60?
75 under, yeah. So that
what is when 75 under 75 is baby?
75 you have to put back. You can't keep them.
Yeah, it's a rule.
It's too small. Yeah.
Ah. And
so they might be 10 kilos, maybe. 10.
So it's. I didn't know it that there is such a rule. Yeah. And is some rule for rainbows and brownies, which you can keep?
No, only a minimum of 200 millimeters, maybe.
And is there a rule? How many per day?
In Taupo, it's 8 per day.
8
you can keep.
And is there a limit for how many days you fish?
No. So you buy your year license, and that's for all New Zealand, every river.
Yeah. For example, in our country, it's so that you can fish for trouts 3 days per week, and it's different in many parts of our country, but maximum you can take 3 per day, so it means 9 per week. And for some places, just 1. Yeah.
There is some places in the South Island that you're only allowed to take 1 and stuff like that. But New Zealand has good fish, not because we have good management.
Yeah.
we have lots of big fish because we have not many people and great environment.
Yeah, and also, if you catch in our country fish and you want to keep it, you have to write it down to our fishing permit, because there is written species. You have to write rainbow. You have to write how many centimeters did it have, and also how many kilo, or you have to write it there. So, and this is not in New Zealand.
No, don't.
You have just a fishing license. It looks like credit card, and that's it.
That's it.
And if you are fishing on the sea, you need this license also.
No,
it's for free.
Free.
Yeah, sea fishing almost everywhere is free. Yeah.
Australia, you pay, I think.
Yeah, you pay. Yeah, Aussies.
And the kawai, no size limit. Kingfish, snapper. You said you like the snapper.
Yeah,
they have to be 30, 300 millimeters. So there is undersized limits, but some people, you could keep a 24-pound snapper, which I don't think you should be able to. But
yeah, I always will remember snapper with Billy and sashimi and lemon from his garden. It was fantastic experience. But you said that the better is which species?
Blue cod.
Blue cod. I would like to say it because I don't remember it. But if I have recorded, I can listen it again. So blue cod is number 1 for you. Second is
Gurnet,
red gurnet.
Yes, I saw some in Italy. I saw an Italian guy had photos. My controller.
So this is with big fins, like butterfly.
Yeah, the big blue and
rainbow fins.
Fins, yeah.
And third is snapper. Or kahabai.
Cherokee. Then snapper.
Okay.
And yes, and the kingfishers say you can get onto schools them. So, and there's places where there are a lot, around Tauranga there is. You can go out on charters certain time of the year and catch.
Yeah, I tried
huge
in this Tauranga Bay. I tried really hardly, but
I think they get to 50-60 kilos.
Ooh.
So that's not for a fly rod.
Yeah.
But I told you about catching a lot of tuna on the fly rod.
And because fly fishing from the boat sometimes looks like funny, because they cast kind of this attractors to make come marlin.
Yes.
And then cast some big fly.
No, but we don't do that.
It's a bit strange for me. So, and if you are fishing for tuna, you cast immediately the fishing fly.
You see them moving around, and you cast to them, and
so it's not like this that you are trolling around with some attractor. No, okay.
And we have trevally, not the giant trevally, but 40 and 15 pound trevally. And you catch the snapper on the fly.
Yeah,
you can even catch them from the shore.
But snapper are mainly is down, isn't it?
No, they come into the beaches to eat the shellfish.
Okay.
Crabs.
Mm-hmm.
So you can catch snapper in 3 feet of water, 3 or 4 feet.
Okay, I want to come back to New Zealand, to this Tauranga Bay.
Yeah,
and
I've seen the guys catch the stingrays on the
stingray.
The fly. Stingray on the fly. They go pretty hard.
How is releasing such a stingray?
If it's got a big barb, you just cut it off.
Because it could be dangerous, isn't it?
Yes, it could be.
Yeah.
If you hook a 50 kilo kingfish, it might be dangerous too.
Ooh.
You might be dragged around the harbour for a while.
Yeah, but I think it's short story because it's 200 meters and another 100, and you are short of back incline, and it's bye.
Yes.
Okay, Peter. Thank you that you. It was great to having you here. Thank you for your experience. Thank you for your time, and hope you enjoy the stay in our country, in Czech Republic. Safe journey back home. Please say hello to Lynley, and hope to see you in New Zealand again.
Yes, hope to see you too. It's been marvellous. The people in Czech are fantastic, and the countryside is gorgeous and quite different. So, which is what you want on a holiday, it's lovely.
Something different.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.